I really want a partner, but the more I want it, seems that he is not coming. What can I do? If you're concentrated and you're so desperate to meet somebody, you're gonna be pushing men away, and the universe, or better to say God himself, not gonna send you anybody. And so here you have to stop concentrating on yourself and start really serving community. And each one of us as a woman, we know deep in our heart, what is our contribution? Do we care about animals? Do we care about older people? Do we care about women? Do we care about nature? And the more you're gonna start putting some time that you have on the contribution, that's when, again, if you don't believe in God, think of it as a universe. If you believe in God, God himself gonna start sending you the right man. And of course, we're all dreaming about Prince on the white horse. That's gonna be funny, intelligent, make good money. And we gotta put our standards a little bit lower. Not as if we're so perfect and we wanna meet a perfect man. We gotta let go of the standards. Otherwise, I see so many women who are in their 40s and even some are in their 50s are still single. Obviously, they've gone through divorce. Some were never even married. And so that's why we gotta let go of this idea and fantasy, what kind of man you should meet. For example, when I met my husband, honestly, physiologically, he's not my type. He's blonde hair with blue eyes, kind of bluish greenish eyes. But the moment we started to become friends, and we knew each other actually for 3 years through our mutual friends. But as we start going out and getting to know each other, his personality was like a gold. And that's how slowly I became more and more attracted to him. But nowadays, most women are so... Well, first of all, we grew up on the Cinderella fairy tales, pretty woman movies, and we're just so brainwashed by this ideology of the prince and perfect man. And in the reality, perfect man is not looking like what we think he is. They're real, they're providers, they're protectors. My husband is introverted, but he's extraordinary man. And again, I would have never chosen him if I didn't give him the chance and if I didn't start get to know him slow by slowly. The best relationship is built on the foundation of friendship, not rushing, but really taking time. But for now, to meet somebody, for you, what I highly recommend is to get out of this desperate mode that you gotta meet him. You gotta start concentrating, giving to the community. And the more you're gonna start giving, the sooner you're gonna start attracting the right man. Alisa, thank you for everything that you do. Namaste. Namaste, my friends. I feel the same way. You need me, I need you, because this knowledge of mine, if I don't share, it eats me alive. So at this point, I have to give back. So that's why I appreciate you for joining, for learning, for growing, and obviously appreciating, because I appreciate you as much as you appreciate me. So thank you for that. Republican or Democrat, that I do not discuss. And plus, I want to share that I stopped watching politics altogether 8 years ago. I stopped watching black box altogether. If I watch spiritual movies, documentaries, I read, but the black box is brainwashing us. There's fear, stress, anxiety, drama, and all of it's triggering us. So politics is for men. For me, no thank you. A year ago, my husband stopped watching news and politics. And wow, what a shift. What a shift, my friends, because politicians nowadays, they have agenda and they want to sell what they want to sell, and they're not taking us in a direction where things are improving. So we got to really take responsibility for our lives and stop hoping that some politician in the United States, Canada, or Europe or somewhere can make life better. We're responsible for our life. That's how I view the politics. Should I mirror my husband who is acting cold and distant, or should I play it cool? Well, no, my friends, because if your husband is cold, that means maybe somewhere you hurt his feelings. Maybe he did not overcome a breakdown that you had a week or 2 weeks ago. The second reason could be sometimes men get cold when they lose interest. And they lose interest because Again, a woman stopped taking care of herself, or she is really stressed or critical. So the best thing is to give him space, but at the same time, when he gonna start coming out of the cave, start talking about it. Because without a conversation, you guys gonna continue being distant and distant. But if you ask him a question and he doesn't want to talk about it, don't pull him out. Because we as a women, when men go into their cave and they don't want to talk, we feel anxious, we feel stressed and scared. Wow, maybe I'm losing him. Maybe, but at the same time, being stressed and anxious about it, not gonna make a difference. Sometimes men need their time. But also, you gotta start looking at yourself. What happened? Is it an argument or fight that happened months ago or weeks ago? Or maybe you stopped taking care of yourself and he start losing the interest in you as a woman. You gotta be authentic with yourself, because sometimes men are afraid to be honest with us because they're afraid to hurt our feelings. In a way, it's a wonderful thing, but in the other way, we don't know what's going on. But you definitely need to invite him to have a conversation when he's ready. Yeah, men are afraid to talk about it because how we talk is very critical, judgmental, and we're attacking. And therefore, they feel like they have to defend themselves. So if you are inviting him to conversation, it has to be very gentle. It has to be very feminine. Honey, I just noticed you're very cold, and I just want to know what's going on. Is it because of our arguments a few weeks ago, or something happening at work, or tell me what's going on? So very gentle, very feminine. And then he would be open to have a conversation. I used to be so proud of being independent, but didn't realize it. I think I understand what you're saying, not 100% sure. A lot of women feel very proud being independent, being successful, being sometimes even rich. Gonna give you even an example. Yesterday, we were at the party, and my husband was asking one of my girlfriends, her husband, where did he get something? I don't want to share full details because it's going to take a while. And my girlfriend's husband said, oh, I don't know. You can ask my wife. And as we're driving home, my husband is sharing with me, can you believe that a husband is not even purchasing anything at the house? Only wife is purchasing furniture, expensive paintings, a car, all of the material things. That means their family in such a dynamic of feminine man and masculine wife where everything is out of balance. So you're not the only person who is living this life. Most of the society right now feels very comfortable in equality. Basically, everyone is equal, 50-50. Or at this point, even men feel like, okay, you can go to work and I can bake pies, cook, and take care of kids. It's not normal. Because the woman then will not be realizing her true purpose as a wife, as a mother, and as a woman. And the man will be degrading because he's not realizing his full potential. Because a man will never be fully confident, masculine, happy with himself, and respect himself until he will achieve a success in his purpose in life as a man, whether he is a businessman, whether it's something else, whatever his career and purpose is. He needs to leave a legacy behind him, even if it's just protecting his wife or just a family, because without it, a man doesn't feel good. So with that said, you need to start working on yourself, shedding off this masculine energy in order to start connecting to your femininity. Otherwise, we are traumatized because we've been brainwashed by feminists, our parents, society, and none of it is healthy. Because again, masculine women who are providers, are protectors, are not emotionally healthy. They're doing it because they've been programmed like that and because they're traumatized by their parents. That this is what you have to do. Be a good girl, go to work, get a good grades. And none of it is healthy. So I hope I answered your question because I am not fully got it 100%, but if not, please forgive me. Where am I from? I'm originally from Baku, Azerbaijan, but I've lived in many different countries. I studied in many different countries, so I called myself a global citizen. Gay marriages or lesbians, my friends, because I'm studying and because I've been studied for 10 years, Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, it's a spiritual knowledge. It looks at it from a lens where I can discuss only relationship between a man and a woman. So if you're looking for an advice, for me, as if you are dating, if you're gay or a lesbian, I'm not going to be a good expert. I'm not judging you, and nobody has a right to judge you. But I am not a good expert in that field because, again, I've been putting all of my time and energy to study how to preserve a family between a man and a woman. So please forgive me. I had no choice but to be masculine. If anything, being a feminine is more brave than masculine. Yes, my friends. I will even tell you, when I started my journey to femininity, at some point I remember 2 years into my feminine journey, I all of a sudden got a fear. I realized, wow, I'm cutting off my job, I am making almost to nothing, and I'm 100% dependent on my husband. And all of a sudden, for a month or so, I start having fears like, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if this? And I start verbalizing those fears to my husband, and he was nurturing me, kind of hugging me. He's like, no worries, everything gonna be okay. And I did more of spiritual work and giving these fears to God himself, because it is scary. It is very vulnerable position in life where you don't know what will happen. But at the same time, my friends, we never have 100% security from our husband or our wife or anybody. The true security you get only from God. And when you have that kind of relationship, you know you'll be okay. Even if hypothetically, the biggest fear women have, if husband dies or he cheats or he lies or he divorces, what I'm gonna do? If that will ever happen to me, I still have my profession. I can still go back and work, even though most likely I'm not gonna go to work. I am just gonna, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I know 100% that God will show me the path, how to survive or how to make money. And I'm 100% sure that I will meet somebody else who will provide and protect. Well, and you have that kind of certainty when you have a relationship with God. Otherwise, depending 100% on man and not having a relationship with God, you will be in a really scary, uncomfortable space, worried all the time. What will happen? What will happen? Nothing will happen if you're going to start building your relationship with God. Yeah. How do I forget about mean people? You don't concentrating on your past. Talking about how do you forget about mean people, I had a very traumatic childhood. The more I was doing the therapy, then the more I was doing a spiritual relationship and learning how to increase my vibration, and I was doing more prayer and more mantra and meditation, I stopped thinking about the past. All I'm thinking about is now and how to live in the moment and serve you, serve my husband, serve my son, my community. And then you don't have time to think about who did you wrong. You start actually wishing them happiness, because the more you wish them happiness, the more you disconnect from them. And so you're not living in the past. You're not living in the future how it should be. You live in the moment. But this living in the moment happens only when you concentrate on growing spiritually, growing emotionally, and becoming the best version of yourself. And so stop concentrating. There will be a lot of bad people in the future, possibly in the now, and definitely happened in the past. But the more you're going to concentrate on goodness, on spiritual work, that's not going to bother you. Trust me, my friends. The more you give, the more you receive. Absolutely. What's your love language? My love language. Why are we talking about me? Let's talk about you, my friends. This is funny. Women who think they'll get a cash cow. Yeah, some women who are very insecure, who are not willing to work on themselves, they're dreaming in a fantasy that they will get that. But the more we're attached to this dream, the more we're not living in the present and in the now. The same way men are thinking, well, I just can watch a porn site, play video games, and somebody just gonna be still attracted to me. No, both men and women gotta overcome their insecurities, their shortcomings and fears, and then we start attracting a really good people to our life. Yeah. Hi Alisa, hope you're well. How to co-parent healthily. I'm scared to be separated from my babies. I'm just wondering where is this fear comes from, that you will be separated from your babies because you divorced, or because you're in a separation. Because you see, as a human beings, I want to explain something to you, my friends. So we're living in three different layers. First layer called ignorance. Second layer, passion, for those who didn't see this video. And a third level called goodness. This is ignorance, passion, and goodness. And people who live in a layer of ignorance, these are people who are constantly worried and scared. They're dealing with depression, they have either drinking problems or maybe even alcohol problems or drug addict problems, but they mainly live in the past and they're thinking about how to hurt others. And they have a lot of fears, and they're stuck in the past. Something did not work, and they're living worrying that something bad will happen. Now, also people, there's other people, so around 52 or 53% of people live in ignorance. Then we have 40-something% living in the state of passion. In a state of passion, people are living, let me work hard so I can get more money. I can get a nice girlfriend or a good-looking boyfriend. I get married, I'll get a house, I'll get a car, and I'll be happy. And so they're living chasing a job, chasing a college, chasing a girlfriend, and getting material goods. And so they're living in a constant anxiety, state of anxiety, because more. I need more, a lot of material things. And so people here dealing mainly with anxiety and food addiction, not serious addiction like here, alcohol or drugs, but here it's like food, sugar, maybe gambling, sex addiction, and things like that. And so only 1% of the people are living in a state of goodness. In a state of goodness, you are not scared because you are doing either prayer or the meditation or the affirmation. You are trusting a higher power to guide you through challenges. You're giving all of your fears to Him and asking Him, guide me through this. I am fully yours. And so when you say, I don't know how to co-parent, you have to answer yourself. Are you stuck in the future, because here you're worried about the future, and in a state of ignorance, we're worried about the past. But most of the people, they live going back and forth, worried about past, worried about future, worried about past, worried about future. And here people are not wanting the damage to others, but they're using each other. And so the only way for us to reach the true happiness is doing either prayer, mantra, affirmation, or meditation. And again, only 1% of the people are living this way. And that's where the true happiness is, where you're not worried about, will my ex-husband will take away the babies or not? Will he do this or that? Because you are in charge of your life, because you trust in God Himself. And when you trust in God, you could change fully your destiny, going from this direction to this direction, where endless possibilities open up. Honestly, 2 years ago, I would not even think it's possible to quit job and just be a stay-home mom and wife and do a contribution to you, my friends, and lead the free lectures and etc. And here I am, because the more I trust God and I do the spiritual work, the more the doors open up. Unbelievable. So that's what I suggest, my friends. And you can even achieve that not going a single day to therapy, just really doing one day at a time, at least 5 minutes a day, affirmation, meditation, or a prayer. And if you watch more of my videos on YouTube, you will even know step by step how. So that's what I truly recommend to you, my friends. My mom never encouraged true femininity. She was so conservative even at home. Well, my friends, our parents coming from their past. I'm coming from a country that used to be a Soviet Union. Very conservative, communism, with women, mothers back then were all feminist. So United States and Russia and Soviet Union is not very different, really. Politics makes us look like we're very different, but a lot of mothers in Soviet Union were very feministic, and so we cannot judge them. They were how they were, and there's a reason why we were born into this type of mothers, in order to realize what they did did not work. And it's never late. Even if you're 60 or 50 or 40, it doesn't matter. At any point, you can start shifting to femininity. And all I'm proposing to you, my friends, because I've done coaching before and I hired coaches to help me to get to feminine energy, nothing worked. Because even those coaches, they were masculine themselves and they were not feminine. Right now, I'm using a lot of masculine energy in order to share my knowledge and be productive with you. Because if I would be feminine, I would be relaxed. I would be just drinking water. I would be gardening, and you will not get my message. And so that's why for 45 minutes, an hour with you, I'm shifting to feminine energy, to masculine energy, to give you information so we can move fast. But otherwise, I am living with my family and friends in a very laid back and very feminine energy where I'm trusting my husband. So all I'm trying to say, it's not late. You are doing right now the best thing, being in a conversation about it. And when you have someone that you look up to, I want to be like that. That's how you start feeding off their energy. And then you're going to start listening to maybe mine or other feminine women, more messages and more videos and more lectures, and you're going to start absorbing. Because first, we as a women, we need to absorb a lot of information. It comes here, it's like, it makes sense. Then it comes to our soul, and when it comes to our soul, we feel like it's the truth. I accept it. And only then, we're going to start moving forward and taking action. So right now, you're absorbing that, and you're doing good. So acknowledge yourself. Because changes happens little by little, little by little. And so acknowledge you for every little step that you do. So thank you for roses and hearts, my friends. It feels special. Is female virginity an issue? Do men appreciate it? You see, some men who are truly masculine and provider and protector, they will totally enjoy it and they will truly appreciate it because you as a woman were not touched before by other men. And the truth is, we're living in a society where men now don't protect that. The fathers supposed to protect their daughters, so daughter is not dating some kind of a loser who will take advantage of her and will dump her. But men and boys, first of all, they mature much later, and second of all, when they're young, they don't appreciate it. And so a mature man absolutely would appreciate that. And man who is already confident, who is ready for a serious relationship. And so I highly recommend for you to, stay virgin if you can. Rather give your beautiful flower of virginity to someone who is special, who loves you. Get to know them. Truly get to know them. Don't rush into a sexual intimacy, because if it's not with someone that you love, someone that you know, it's not going to even feel special. And then you feel every time a woman has a sexual intimacy with different men, she loses her purity, her true purity and beauty, and she becomes more and more bitter, more resigned, more stressed, because a woman and her virginity has to be protected by a family and herself. And so absolutely, if you can, please keep that purity. Good question. Wow, great wisdom. I wish I would have known this 22 years ago. Thank God I understand now by experiencing it. Thank you, Dani. Thank you. How to deal with stereotypes about being feminine. Brazilian women always go through judgmental. Yeah, I hear you. But let me tell you something. Whether you're Brazilian, whether you're American, whether you're Russian, so many different cultures right now are judging. Because 90% of the time, I'm surrounded by masculine women. I have 2 girlfriends who are shifting really fast to femininity, another 5 who are in my circle of friends realizing it and start working on it. But if I'm talking about bigger community, it doesn't matter whether it's Brazilian or Russian or American or Canadian or German, they're all very masculine. And so you have to disconnect that it's only Brazilian. It's most, because America has a power where people been looking at America, wow, this is the greatest country, and so most of the countries are copying and think, oh, I want American dream, or if American women are feminists, that means I should be feminist. If they're successful and they're saying like this and they dress like that and they work 80 hours a week, I should be doing that. And so most of the women around the world thinking that this is the best thing, and we gotta disconnect from this Hollywood actresses, teachers, and journalists who are brainwashing that should be this way. It's like going back from 100 years ago when we heard that the earth is flat, and then no, the earth is not flat, it's actually round. And that's what we're going through, ladies. We're saying to the world is not, no, feminism is not healthy for us, it's not healthy for families, for men, for nobody. And so it will take time. Right now you're gonna feel like you're the black sheep in your community. And for the most part, people in the Russian community, I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, and around 80,000 people know me. And there's 300,000 Russians here. And they all kind of see me and know, and they look at me, I'm crazy, like I'm psychotic, you know, and they're like, wow, you're spiritual now, you're feminine, woohoo, you're crazy, Alisa. You used to be a successful therapist, you used to make $1,250 an hour. What happened to you? Did you lose your mind? And I'm going against the stream. And so don't be scared of it, because deep in your heart, you know what's right, what's good for you, what's good for your family. And at the end of the day, do we want to please others and try to fit in, or do we want to be happy with ourselves? Because when we're trying to fit in and please others, we are wasting enormous energy. And that's when we wake up, we even feel exhausted because we go to work that we don't like. We may make the money and we spend it on food or clothes or shoes or purses that we don't really need. And then we're chasing men that we don't even attracted to. That we're like, oh, because it's time, it's aging, let me just get him. So we're doing a lot of things going against our soul. And that's why I'm telling you, my friends, when you do the spiritual work, you first of all connect to your soul. What makes you happy? What do you really want? And so again, let go of that and don't worry that everybody gonna judge you. Yes, they will. But you listen to your soul. And everything, slowly by slowly, people gonna start gravitating and seeing what you have that they don't have. And then you will be attracting a masculine man, and then your relationship will be working, and then they will be jealous. So first they were judging me, but guess what? Now more and more people are joining my feminine group of friends, and they're going to programs and lectures. So let go. One day at a time, let go of that fear. My husband's parents have a big expenses is coming. Now husband is working a lot of hours. Should do. I answered that question a week ago, so it's uploaded on the YouTube. Is having a goal first ambitious is feminine because I don't have. Having goals, succeeding, getting a job, paying your mortgage off, paying off your car, purchasing something, all of that is a masculine energy. My girlfriend sometimes ask me, Alisa, so husband pays for everything? Yes, husband pays for everything. But you cannot get there overnight. First, maybe husband gonna just pay for mortgage and your car. And as you're shifting to femininity, he will appreciate that and he'll say, you know what, hon, I'm gonna start paying for utilities. And as you're shifting to femininity, he'll say, I'm gonna pay for groceries. And as you're shifting to femininity, he'll say, you know what, honey, here's the money for your hair and your nails. And at the end, when you fully shift to 100% femininity, he will be happy to take care of you and provide and protect by 100%. But again, first, you need to work on becoming a feminine without demanding, you gotta pay for this, you gotta pay for that. Then a man will not have any desire to do anything for you. Yeah. Thoughts on men who go out clubbing every weekend. If a man goes clubbing to drink and pick up a woman, yeah, he's right now in his 20s or early 30s because he is probably wants to get a hookup. And a lot of men do that when they're not ready for a serious relationship. But when a man is ready for a serious relationship, clubbing and going out, going to the bars is not important. But again, it depends on the age. Are they in 20s, 30s, or 40s? If you say a man who is in the 40s go clubbing every weekend, that's a red flag. Yeah. Who should we dress for our taste or his? That's a really good question, because most of the time women dress beautiful when they go out, when they meet their girlfriends, or when they go to work and they want to look good, but hardly ever to look good in front of men. So no, you should dress and take care of yourself and have a makeup. You gotta have a pretty hair and dress pretty at home as well. And definitely you should start thinking and even asking. Sometimes once a year I ask my husband, honey, is there any clothes that I have that you really hate and don't like? And sometimes he says like, yeah, this PJ, I'm tired of it, so I change that PJ. Or he will say, yeah, this dress that you wear at home, I kind of stopped liking it too, and I just get rid of it. And I ask him when I buy clothes and I come home, I said, I bought this and I wear it, do you like it? He's like, yeah, I like it. And I dress another dress, I bought this, do you like it? He's like, yeah. So we definitely should consider what men like. And so here you follow your fashion, but also you gotta definitely keep in mind what your man likes and what he dislikes, because I've noticed that when I don't wear makeup in the morning, my husband doesn't smile greeting me in the morning, good morning. He's like, good morning. But when I wear makeup, that's a completely different smile, and that right away tells me how much he appreciates when I already have a makeup in the morning. So we have to keep that in mind, ladies. Yeah. What is the most feminine way to exercise or take care of myself? My friends, because I'm studying yoga and Ayurveda, for me, the most feminine way, the way Ayurveda teaches, it's yoga, running, walking, swimming, but mainly doing things in the nature. Gym is for men. It's not feminine at all. So even if you just do walking, even if you just do running, as long as it's outside, it's very healthy. Yoga you can do outside or inside, it doesn't matter. But I will tell you, since I stopped dancing, I've gained 5 or 6 pounds in 2 years. And running sometimes works for me, sometimes it doesn't, because I have old injuries. And so ideally for me, running is the best, because yoga is not keeping me really in shape, and running does. So if you can do running or fast walking, at least for 30 to 45 minutes, it's ideal. But again, running works, and actually staying in shape works if you do it before breakfast, when you are charging your day, and then your whole body works to digest all of the extra fat that you have. But most people come home, they're exhausted after work, and they go to the gym. When you go to the gym after work, it works only 10%. You're getting only 10% of the results, and your body is exhausted, it's tired, it's time to go cook dinner, eat, and spend time with the family. So in a Western society, we do everything backwards. In the reality, you should be doing everything in the morning, ideally between 5:30 to 7 a.m. when the sun is on the rise. So I hope that answers the question. I've been so jealous lately because my husband is semi-retired and enjoying life with friends. Your husband is semi-retired. Can he help you to retire or help you financially so you can retire? Because it's not really healthy that husband is enjoying friendship and you're working. I would have a jealousy too, and I would have a hard time. You gotta discuss this. Say, honey, I don't want to work anymore. I'm kind of tired. Can your retirement support us? And start having a conversation with him. Because most of the time, women feel insecure to talk about uncomfortable topics. For example, they feel uncomfortable talking about it. Well, honey, the way we're having sex, I'm not even horny yet, and you already want to have sex with me. Or, honey, I don't like that you took my money and paid mortgage. Women have a lot of uncomfortable stuff, but they're hiding it under the rug. No, we have to discuss that. It's very important, because if you're not discussing what's not working for you and what's painful for you, or you have jealousy, it's like you are poisoning yourself, your soul, your mind, and then it slowly starts to speed in the relationship and family. So quickly discuss this. Say, honey, it's not working for me. I also want to retire. I don't want to work. How can we handle this? He is responsible for finances at home. So start shifting and giving it to him. Not overnight, but slowly, step by step. Yeah. Can you talk about intimacy and some tips for femininity in the home when he gets home from work? Oh, this is a great question. First of all, friends, well, because I am not working, for me it's easy, because I wake up in the morning at 5:30, at 6 o'clock, I do my meditation, I do my prayer, then I wake up our son, I cook him pancakes, I send him to school, and I have 6 hours for myself. And so in 6 hours I cook. I cook lunch. When son gets home, he will eat soup or something that he likes, and definitely a dinner for a husband. So when he comes home, definitely we want to dress nice and greet our husband with smile and hug, and then give him time, because sometimes they're exhausted and tired. Do not talk, do not talk. And instead start warming a dinner or cooking a dinner, so he feels happy that he went to provide and protect. So you now cooking a dinner so you can feed him. But in our family it works because I don't work. If you're working, I don't know, do you have even energy now to have a second job? Because cooking, cleaning, organizing, doing homework with kids, doing everything at home is a job. And so can you come from work and start doing a second job? I'm questioning that. And so, but ideally, that's how you want to greet a man. Dressing nice, hair is done, makeup is done, and serving him a dinner. After he ate and he did this, that's when you can have a conversation. Honey, by the way, this happened, it kind of bothers me. Or can we talk about this? And so whatever you want to vent, this is the best time. But until he does this, that he's full, you do not talk about your emotions or troubles or problems. That is what I would highly recommend. But with regards to intimacy, sex itself, ladies, if you don't want to have sex, do not have sex. Because then at some point, if you feel like I have to have sex because I'm a wife, 2, 3 months later or a year later, you will stop having sex altogether. Don't violate your body. What I rather want you to do, if you feel like you don't want to have sex at all, or maybe only like once a month, because a lot of women nowadays want to have sex only once a month because they're overwhelmed, they're tired, they're exhausted, working at work and working at home. Then you lay down and say, honey, can we just talk? I don't want to have sex today. And start talking about your emotions and feelings. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock. Kids are in bed, hopefully, if you guys have kids. And as he's holding you and you're venting, and as he's petting your head or whatever your love language, he's giving me baby compliments, or maybe you're sharing yourself, or maybe you're just talking about some intimacy. He's like, you know what? I just want you to hug me and maybe kiss me on my neck or cheek or however you feel like you want to. You'll be surprised that maybe your intimacy, your sexual desire will get turned on. But sometimes you're so overwhelmed and tired because you're overdoing it in life, taking care of everybody and working and cooking, then you will not even have a desire.